Welcome to Envisioned Broadcasting Radio, EB Radio. EB Radio. Your station for empowerment presents Mom Boss Talk Radio, a show that brings real life, real moms, and real experiences to empower mom bosses everywhere to be ambitious, highly driven, fierce, fabulous, and fearless. Mom Boss Talk Radio begins now.
Welcome, Mom Bosses all over the world. Welcome back to Mom Boss Live Talk Radio. Y'all know that it's another amazing Thursday, and that means it is time for us to have another great discussion with the Mom Bosses. I am Jerisha, and I am joined by my co-host, Monyetta, and we are super excited to be together. Yes. We're excited to be together.
Yes, this is very exciting.
It's been a while.
Yes, because we are moms, okay? We follow the mantra, okay? We are living life. We have a lot of things to do, and, and it's great. It's beautiful to see the growth and just to see everything move in action. But talking about just action, right? So I came across some editorials. Now, I don't normally, go into magazines or even going on their website. And to be frank, I never really knew they had these particular sections, but they're entrepreneurship editorials. So for instance, and these are not sponsors or just, shout outs, but I think it's kind of important for people to know that resources are out there, right? For you just to look and possibly get motivated or get some inspiration or just know what kind of new businesses are out there. So if you are not aware, bbc.com, they have a business section and it's an entrepreneurship section, and they have articles. For example, I've started a business in my 50s to fight dementia. So it's basically talking about a woman who is now over 50 who decided during COVID that she wanted to start a business fighting, of course, dementia. And a lot of times people who jump into certain businesses is because of their own experiences. And when I was going through these articles, I was noticing that type of trend. For instance, the woman who quit smoking and built a global hypnotherapy firm. So because of her own experience, she decided to start something to help other people who want to stop smoking. And the list goes on and on. So have you ever, for one, what do you think about that? What do you think about these editorial type articles out there? And it's more, okay, the New York Times, I think it was entrepreneurship, mompreneurs. There's so many editorials. I'm like, where have I been? So what do you think about that? Do you feel like you're missing something?
Right. I think it's good. So I am familiar with a few of those that you've mentioned. The entrepreneur one is the one that comes to mind that I believe I subscribe to from, where they send me emails and all of that. Yeah. One of the other ones is, Black Enterprise as well. So there are some really great ones out there that I actually subscribe to that send me, like you mentioned, some of the articles, some of the, really great resources for us as, mom bosses. But they'll send you information in your email, and then they would also send you details as far as if there's upcoming conferences, if there's something that you really need to be aware of that, that maybe you're getting an email or, where you're sending articles and you're not able to really read them like you want to, you can at least know that, you can always go back to it. And so I like to get them in my email. I like to subscribe to them. Now, mind you, I don't subscribe to all of them. Because you don't want to just flood your mailbox with all kinds, what I'm saying? You want to be able to, if you're going to subscribe to any of them, then you definitely want it to be something that's going to be worth your while. And I think some of the ones that you mentioned, is very good because of the resources, the information, the knowledge that you can really get from some of those sources, which I think is good. I think that is just a whole nother resource that we have not really tapped into and not even really thought about, because how many of us can actually say that we have thought about some of utilizing, some of those articles, learning more about things that's out there. So I feel like it should be, we should, as mom bosses, as entrepreneurs, you should have, you should subscribe to a few different ones. I would say, honestly, for me, no more than 5. And I say that because you don't want it to be just too much to where you're not able to read them. I think about, too, how we have, like, the magazine subscriptions that come in the mail. And, like there's an entrepreneur magazine, the actual hard copy that comes into the mail, or your Black Enterprise and all of that. And how, or not even just on that, but maybe the entertainment, like your Ebony, your Essence. And can I tell you, like, they accumulate, at least for me, they accumulate, and more often than not, I find myself if I'll just I don't read them like I should. So we don't, because you have so many that come in. So I think that if we do look at, those editorial, resources, those editorial, sites out there that are really geared towards entrepreneurs, we need to really, do our research and pick and choose which ones we feel like is really going to be worth our while. And we're going to actually not just, subscribe to them or have them, but actually read them, read the articles, get information for them, So I think this is a really good topic to talk about today.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because definitely, selecting a few that resonates with you I think is very important, even because we're so in a digital era anyway. You don't necessarily have to subscribe to get something coming to your door. Right. It's right at your fingertips. And, for me, and I think for a lot of people, when they think of certain sites like the New York Times, they think of just news. They don't really think of the extra things that come with it. Like with BBC, they have like information on, the climate and things that's going on today, but that also includes entrepreneurship, business, tech, a lot of information to keep up with, especially if you're trying to keep on the trends of, building and growing your business. These editorials may be a great way for you to see not only, the current trends of what's going on today, but also your competition, and also, looking at other CEOs and people who built something grand and seeing what they have to say. You don't necessarily have to follow their blueprint, but it's nice to know that, if you're watching or, reading up on a CEO and their strategies are similar to yours, then you can okay, I think I'm headed in the right direction. That's because, so it's a great way to kind of, utilize this type of information to build your own, company. And also, too, you might be able to, find connections through these editorials. Because if you're in business and you see people starting businesses and they're, featured in these editorials, they might have information that you may be able to reach out to them and, connect. So that's probably another good way. It's like, oh, I didn't know such and such was doing this. I didn't know there was people I heard that was doing that. Let me see if I can get their information, and try to network in that way. So, and I'm going through these articles, and it's amazing the amount of people on here that grew just from circumstance, just through circumstances. And it can give you hope and pushes you to even go harder, because it's like regular people. These are regular people who was probably working a 9-to-5, and they decided, something, I want my life to change, just like a lot of us who want their lives to change. And you can see it and read their story. I think it's brilliant. I think it's a great resource to utilize to build your own, not only build your self-esteem, because now you're seeing normal people in these articles being featured. And I applaud the actual corporations like New York Times and BBC for even incorporating regular, just, normal people who is starting from the ground up and featuring them in their articles so they can get their stories heard and reach a massive audience. So I think it's great. Yeah.
I think it is too, and I love that. And I was going to say something, and I think I just lost my train of thought. But I love that, and it's because I was thinking about some of the, like if we were to say, okay, what's the list of good entrepreneur magazines, or that you could not necessarily, because you don't always have to subscribe to them like you just said.
Yeah.
You could easily, like even if you go to their website, there's content. There's content that you can view, content that you can look at. Like that's the good thing about just having access to things, and resources at our fingertips, is we can go to them. And I know what I was going to say now. You had mentioned about being able to look at real, like real people, like ordinary people where they're sharing their stories. And I think that more and more nowadays, you have a lot of the big, magazines that are the magazines and, the editorial, that they're the editorial sites where they are actually, pulling in stories that the ordinary everyday people can really, can relate to, which I think is really, really good because, just in thinking about, like you mentioned, like the New York Times and all of that, and I was thinking more or less on the lines of, just like some of the magazines, but I think that resources, be it, print, whatever kind of print it may be, is good. It's good to just be able to tap into additional resources that can help you as a mom boss on this journey.
Yeah.
And, whether you subscribe or go to those sites and, read and learn about different things, articles, or, you are one that like to, subscribe to different, magazines or whatever it may be. I think that it is just important for us to be able to tap into the resources and know that there are so many resources out there that you maybe not even thought about, connecting with. Thinking about, reaching out to see what kind of information. I love that because I think it's so important as entrepreneurs to make sure we are, we have access to, many different kinds and types, all kinds of resources that is really just at our fingertips with just getting online and, and performing some kind of Google search. So I think that's good. I think that's really, really good because, I mentioned some magazines and you mentioned some of the other, editorials, and I love all of them. So, the thing is to find whatever you feel like it's going to be best for you, and don't look at it like, something else to add to your plate. Because, when you are growing, when you're wanting your business to, really take off and you're really wanting to flourish and grow, you have to be willing to, look at some of the resources that can help you and really get tapped in. And even if that means, scheduling time, I'm always talking about how we need to schedule, put time on your calendar to look at some of those editorials. Put time on your calendar to spend maybe 15, 20 minutes a day just looking through some of it to read. And so, again, I know some of them they may be able to send stuff to your inbox where you just have it in your email. I actually have a folder in my email to where I label stuff that I need to, that I'm going to go back and read so that I'm not deleting it. And I know it's something that I need to read. Something that's very important to me because that's how, I have things that that I subscribe to that is sending information, and I want to be able to go back and look at some of those articles. And you will be so surprised on the information that I have found that has come through, like an email from an article or something of that nature, that I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know this. And I'm happy that I, set it up for me to have that information sent to my mailbox. So I love it. I think it's good. I think we need to really do our research to find out, what are those sites that we need to be really subscribing to or visiting on a regular, and so that we can get information, so we can see, keep up with the latest and the greatest, especially in the industry of being an entrepreneur, because I feel like that's what it's all about. You want to keep up with the latest and the greatest.
Yeah, you don't want to be, left behind in a sense. You want to be able to utilize everything from libraries to, websites, to anything that will give you the knowledge to push you forward. You need to be able to utilize that, from coaching, from, utilizing other people, because I remember someone saying you should always hire somebody smarter than you, because especially in certain areas in your business. Because I know I don't know anything about marketing, but I know I can hire somebody who's going to kill it in marketing, and they're going to see my vision and they're going to push it forward. So I'm utilizing not only, things to read, but also people who have lived these positions and know what they're doing. So you definitely want to utilize every single resource that you have, because they're going to give you the strategies, the marketing, the sales, the customer service, social media, everything business, so that way you won't be 100% lost. Okay? It's basically, look at it as like a step-by-step guide. You're not going to be completely, confused, because you have so many things at your fingertips. It's just an article away. And if you still don't understand, YouTube University, okay, another great resource. A lot of things can be learned, and that's how a lot of things is done in our house. YouTube University. So don't ever count out. It is amazing the things you learn. Like, with the extra things that I'm trying to learn, they have it on there. I can learn a whole class, and they have like 2 hours of a video, and I can learn so much in one topic. So it's definitely important to look at these as helpful and not hindrance. You can always just go on the website for a quick article read. You don't have to, you don't have to sign up for anything. But if you're using it quite often, then you might want to sign up and just you just might want to sign up and just have stuff sent to you at that point. Especially if you're going to keep on going and finding information. But I think this is a great topic. I think, I didn't know much about it until I started doing research. And I'm like, man, I'm missing out. I'm missing out on a lot. And I just signed up. I just signed up for one. And blackenterprise.com, I sure did. Just looking at the information, I'm like, yeah. And I would definitely be signing up with BBC, because I'm like, anything helps at this point.
That's right.
I just need, so don't bat an eye when it comes to, or don't put articles on the back burner. Okay. And even too, I don't know if you're able to, but maybe you can let me know, but maybe you can make it where it's like, like Audible, where it reads books to you. I don't know if there's anything where it can read the article to you, but that might even help if you're like busy, if you're cooking, you just want a quick, article. That might help. I don't know if they have it. I'm pretty sure they do, but if they do, I'll find it and I'll definitely share next time.
Yeah, they do. So they do. Audible is a really great tool. It is so amazing because there are there's a lot of information. So I'm just like, there's so much information at our fingertips. It's just a matter of us, actually doing what we need to do to find it, you mentioned YouTube. and how there's so many things on YouTube that you can learn, So I feel like we have to, the days are gone where we have all these excuses why we can't do something or why we don't know something, because we have so much at our fingertips. YouTube is so great. I've utilized YouTube in so many different ways. Like YouTube is something that I go to on a daily basis in some way, shape, or form. I'm going to YouTube. But Audible is a really great tool as well, because there are, so whether you subscribe to Audible or not, I believe you can access certain things on there as well that are, information that's free, different books that you can listen to. And it doesn't have to be like hours upon hours. There is a lot of great information. So we need to actually talk about Audible another day as well, because Audible, there is a way where, that is an income. You can make an income off of Audible as well. And so that we need to have another discussion about multiple streams of income on another show. We'll talk about that on another show. But Audible is a really, really great tool. I have subscribed to Audible and been using Audible for years now, and I love it. As an entrepreneur, it just works for me to be able to download the books that I want to listen to them. I love it. When I tell you I absolutely love it, I do. So that is a good tool. I'm happy that you went and subscribed to Black Enterprise, because that is one of the sites that sends me articles every single day. I think I get either 2 or 3 emails from them every single day, and I like to stay up to date on what is going on, and that is the best way to do it. So I do not I think that back in the day, you used to turn to like the news to find out what's going on. Nowadays, absolutely not. I am waiting for, any information that is really, as an entrepreneur and as a Black woman entrepreneur, there's a lot of great information that is shared from Black Enterprise. And so I would suggest, because we're all mom bosses, of course, if you're a Black mom boss, then I would recommend Black Enterprise as well. There are some different sites that you can go to that will help you as a mom boss as well. And I need to tap into those because I don't have a list that's right now, but we'll definitely, get that list together and put it into the Mom Boss Facebook group. And so let me just throw this out there too. So if you have not joined the Mom Boss Facebook group, make sure you find us on Facebook. We know you're on Facebook. Make sure you find us on Facebook and send a request to join the group. We would love to have you as a part of the community. Yes. We celebrate each other. We provide information. We, provide inspirational stuff. We just love to be a part of the community and want you to be a part of the Mom Boss community as well. So make sure you find us on Facebook. And then if you know some other places, like if you know some sites, if you know some magazines, some, editorial, if you know something, some information, please share it with us, because we would love to, know what information, know what it is, and then also be able to share it with the listeners and the community that's on Facebook. So please share it with us as well. Anything else you want to share before we say goodbye until next time to the mom bosses?
Yeah. So, and I was thinking, I think the biggest thing that I'm excited about getting out of these amazing sites is knowing the business conferences, the possibilities of going and meeting people in an abundance of industries. So that's a big thing. So I would like to, on one show, probably just talk about conferences and what's coming up and what areas and things like that. So I'm going to try to figure out something, put something together, a list, so that way, because that is a huge resource. So that way, I'm going to try to get something that's across the U.S., so that way, if you're close by, you'll be able to attend it If not, if you know somebody who who may not live in that state or live in another state, and and you hear the list, you can definitely share it. So that's what I'll be working on, because I really want to be able to provide some resources for everyone to get out and network,
That's
properly. Yeah, so I'm excited about that.
That's right. I love that. I think that's really good, because there are, like you said, there are tons and tons of conferences that are happening right now and that'll be happening in the future that we need to know about, that we need to register for, and we need to be sharing the information with our other mom bosses, with the community and everything else, so that we all can get tapped in, so we can network, so we can connect, because that it's so important for us to be connecting with each other and networking with each other. So stay tuned for an upcoming show where we will talk about some of the upcoming conferences, and I think that's good. I think that's really, really good. So I'm excited. I'm super excited. And also stay tuned, because one of the upcoming shows we're going to talk about, at the end of the year, we always talk about, what's going on for the year, how we're closing the year out, and then how we're going to be bringing in the new year. So we'll be doing that as well. Super excited about just what is to come, and just super excited. So this is good. This is so good. And with that being said, we hope that you guys just continue to support, listen. We thank you for your support and tuning in to the shows. You all are so amazing, so amazing. Y'all are just an amazing mom bosses. The community is so amazing, and we appreciate each and every last one of you, okay? Know that you are mom bosses. You are mom bosses that are super amazing. You are ambitious. You are highly driven. You're fierce. You're fabulous. You are fearless. And we are all making moves as mom bosses. So thank you so much for tuning into the show. We will see you all next time. Until then, y'all keep making your moves. You got this.
Thank you for joining us on Mom Boss Talk Radio. Follow each of the Mom Bosses on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you love Mom Boss Radio, visit the website at www.envisionedbroadcasting.com. We'd love for you to subscribe, rate, and give a review on iTunes. Until next time.